Matt and Luke's Sci-Fi Sanctuary.
The year is 3013. The galaxy is scintillating in the mellow light. Two galactic pilgrims seek out vistas in the samurai future to bring forth the unity of the cosmic shaman. Opening the door of the pantheon of mystics, the evil sorcerer wizard powers the engine of science, seeking to forever alter the sacred balance, traveling on effervescent balls of summer fire.
Right now, Star Trek Picard, Episode 1, Remembrance, and Episode 2, Maps and Legends.
In the year 2020, Star Trek is back, baby!
That was all.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That was short and sweet. We're gonna try and go a little short and sweet here today, to be honest. Cause,
This isn't coming out as like the main Wednesday episode, right?
No, maybe it's a Saturday. I don't know what day. You know, people could listen later too. They could listen on any day of the week.
They could listen a different year.
They could choose like a new day.
Someone could be in space listening to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might have 8 days by then.
Maybe this is what.
And you have to work for 6 of them because fucking the capitalists won.
And our podcast is banned on the planet Earth and listened to by space travelers on long missions with our voices talking to them very slowly over years. Sorry, this is Matt.
This is Luke.
And this is our
Sci-Fi Sanctuary.
It's actually a mountainside temple today.
Yeah, by the time you're listening to this, I should have posted some pictures because we're recording somewhere pretty dope.
For this audio-only podcast.
Oh, I just saw the paintings on the ceiling.
There's paintings on the ceiling. They're very old. It's from the 13th century.
Nice.
Yeah, they might want to restore them, but they probably did, like 200 years ago.
I'm going to come up here with the proper actual plan and a camera and make a video about this place.
You know where it is now.
Yeah, this place is amazing.
That's why I came here. But we are here not to talk about Japanese temples in detail.
Yeah, you can't see it. This is an audio podcast.
We're here to talk about Star Trek.
Picard.
I heard they had thought about calling it Destiny. What would
I'm
be
glad
better?
they didn't.
Yeah, it's just sticking a character's name on is. It is on the nose, but I guess with putting Patrick Stewart in a Star Trek show at this point, it's also pretty on the nose.
Right, because they're currently talking about like a series 2. I'd imagined it as just like a one-off, very short miniseries, just about Picard, right?
That's how they sold it to him. Michael Chabon, I'm hoping I said his name right, did Wonder Boys. He was the showrunner for season 1. He will not be the showrunner for season 2.
Oh, interesting.
I think they did sell Patrick Stewart on, we're just going to do this 10-episode thing, and I guess he was cool enough with it. Season 2 is in pre-production now.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about all of Star Trek Picard because we've only seen the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, I guess you have got a bit of a time limit on this in that if we don't get it out before episode 3, it's going to seem weird.
Well, it'll be out for that.
Yeah.
About the same time. We'll probably get to you again with episodes 3 and 4, but today is episodes 1 and 2. The first one was called Remembrance, and the second, I don't remember. Do you remember?
I didn't
Maps
even
and
notice.
Legends.
Yes, I didn't even notice they had episode titles.
Yeah, first one's Remembrance, second one is Maps and Legends. We have seen those, and Will, how's the Picarding for you so far?
Oh, I said it at the start. Star Trek. This feels like Star Trek.
It does.
It's like nothing has for a while.
Well, it specifically feels like, it doesn't feel like TNG. I guess that's why the show is showing some promise.
It feels like Picard.
It feels like Picard. It doesn't
Yes.
feel like TNG, but it feels like Picard. Like, you know the guy on screen is not Professor X.
Yeah.
It's definitely Picard on screen. You know it's not Patrick Stewart. That's the one thing. Kirk, as the movies went on, became more and more Shatner.
Right.
Where Picard is nothing like Patrick Stewart when you see him in, interviews and stuff. Which,
Right, 'cause he's quite a vibrant, fun...
Yeah, he's like a practical jokester or something.
Yeah.
But Picard is, pretty serious. And I guess coming up to is they're not going to try and do action Picard. And so far they haven't. It's probably for the best.
Yeah. But there's some action happens, but it happens kind of around him.
Yes, because Patrick Stewart is 79.
Or even the next gen movies tried to just make Picard Kirk, right?
Yeah. Well, I think of him, climbing the ropes to get the Borg Queen, Not
Yeah.
the ropes, the tubing.
Shooting Borgs with a Tommy gun. And,
the tubing of engineering. Let's get that right.
Yeah.
We're talking
all this shit. Car chases in Nemesis. And
well, let's take this Picard. This Picard has given up for quite a while, more or less. I mean, he feels justified in having given up.
Yeah, he hasn't given up. He left in protest.
He's probably making some nice wine.
Yeah. People seem to like his wine, and, I would imagine Picard makes a good wine.
Yeah. Well, his brother did most of it. But,
he's like living with those Romulans now.
Oh, yes. This is interesting. Picard so far makes Nemesis, for better or for worse, now pretty important part of the TNG canon.
Well, it also makes...
2009 Star Trek.
2009, this is set in the original timeline after the event which created the Kelvin timeline.
Quite a long time. They actually went farther in the future.
10 years after, right?
Yeah, Picard is actually supposed to be like 94 in this.
Yeah.
This is 2399. So they even went farther past where they would have on the
because people don't
production.
age as fast in Star Trek, right? So it makes sense.
Yeah. Because what was McCoy supposed to be in that first TNG?
Like 100 something, right?
138. Yeah. Which I guess that is pushing it even in the Starfleet future. But Picard's, he's basically like normal old age. He hasn't started falling apart yet. The second episode, they've already started hinting as aromatic syndrome, or is it going to be, it has to be that. They can't go with something else, right? Going with something else would be lame.
Yeah, they've left it off. Oh, here's the thing. That bit in episode 2, do you feel like that was written for Crusher?
No.
No?
One was the actor
he hangs out with like a, this is the Doctor who he's known for a long time, who is his old friend.
Yeah, from the Stargazer.
Yeah, but he's not a guy we've ever seen.
Well, the actor we've seen. That's why I guess I was sitting there like, did I see this in a TNG episode?
Right, but it would have made more. It feels like it would have made more sense if that had been a Crusher cameo.
Well, put yourself in Picard's shoes. Would you want to do that with the medical officer that you served with for many years, had romantic flirtations with, maybe got married to and divorced? We don't quite. I think
that's the point. Yeah.
Yeah. Or would you call like the guy when you first became captain and was your buddy on the Stargazer?
That's true.
Yeah, for that kind of personal crap. I mean, you'd probably
go. No, but he didn't know. He just wanted, sign me off as a.
But Picard remembers the all good things timeline.
Sure.
He's the only one that remembers that. So he remembers having aromatic syndrome. So he would know that might be the result. It made sense to me he would actually go for the Stargazer guy and not Crusher. Okay. It might be an actor thing. Obviously, you'd want to go see if she wants to be on the show. But, we already know Jonathan Frakes and Maria Citrus are going to...
Yeah. Do we know LeVar?
We don't.
Huh.
We don't... Brent Spiner's already there.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a pretty major... Despite being dead.
Well, I like that he is still dead.
I really like they didn't just... Because at the end of Nemesis, they imply that he's put himself in B4 and Data could just be back in the next one.
In case Brent Spiner changes his mind.
Right, and I really like they haven't made that
And Brent Spiner changed his mind.
Yeah, but they've done a more interesting thing with it.
Oh, right? Of course. And I liked, at first, when I saw the previews, I said, maybe Picard just like hangs out with Data on the parking deck. The holodeck,
right,
which would also be lame. So I like that he's actually experiencing Data through weird, surreal dreams, very similar to some of the trippier episodes of TNG.
Yeah, true.
That's where I'm saying, it definitely is not copying TNG at all, but that flavor comes through. Like, that's the flavor of trippy TNG sequences.
Yeah. Well, it just feels like it has the heart that TNG had.
Yeah.
Because, TNG is my favorite Star Trek, I think. I haven't seen as much of, DS9 and Voyager as you have.
I'm probably going to side with the TNG.
But I love Picard as a character, and the fact that it's a TV show, which is sometimes an action TV show, where the main character is a diplomat who mostly solves problems non-violently. And it's like, Star Trek's the one show where you really cannot give any credence to the guy saying, the SJW's ruined it. Because, it's always been, the most left-wing TV show that exists.
Well, it's like Star Wars. Star Trek is a functional social I can't talk social justice warrior, right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you do get people, like, going in weird directions based on false information. But the thing with Star Trek is do it and have the proper information and know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because, well, here's the big crux of this show. Does Starfleet know what they're doing anymore? Because Picard is... We are putting Picard against Starfleet. Now, in Roddenberry's vision, Starfleet should be relatively infallible.
Right. Well, Picard... Sorry. The real human being, Patrick Stewart. I saw an interview of him, and he was saying that he agreed to come back when he realized it wasn't just going to be the Federation Utopia this time. Because he didn't think that would be a relevant show in this day and age. Obviously, like, that dream of the future is still one that I would love to see, you know, just understanding, peaceful, we've moved past all of this. But to the story they're telling now is, here's a society which, because they were scared, forgot that dream, which I think is very relevant and resonant.
Right. I guess, because earlier Star Trek, it doesn't ruin that. The Federation can have its ups and downs.
Yeah.
There is a utopian vision where they don't, but it's not realistic and it doesn't make for good drama.
Yeah. And, like, so, for example, the Abrams movies often feel like they just completely forget that side of it. Like, less so the third one, but the first two do feel very militaristic in their version of Starfleet, right? And then Discovery is literally set during a war.
Right.
But I didn't feel like that felt like Star Trek until the final episode, when she did find a very diplomatic solution to everything.
And let's not forget season 2.
I haven't seen much of season 2,
I know.
but I want to. Right, but like this is where it's like... So season 2 maybe does it as well. But my love of Star Trek is that it is a different message than most just, shoot the baddies, win the fight.
For me,
fiction.
the thing with Star Trek, it's always been like, we're cool, we're fine. Let's move on. Let's explore. The problems, the challenges come from exploration, not because you're intrinsically screwed.
Yeah, and
now,
obviously you still want some character drama because that's...
Well, I think Picard...
Storytelling, right?
Picard is, in this series, what we want from Starfleet, and Starfleet is not.
It's not that anymore.
Right. One weird thing. Is this the first time we've had a Commodore on screen since the original series?
Which character was the Commodore?
I don't remember what we talked... Is that who he's... No, it's an admiral that he gets into a, like, shouting match with.
Oh, it's the one that the admiral then phones the Commodore.
Maybe that's it. But I'm just like, I feel like we haven't seen a Commodore since TOS.
Yeah, so I can't remember even.
It just caught my attention.
Which ones are Commodores?
I don't even... That's the thing, I don't really know.
Oh, here's something. Have you thought about this in a while? In TOS, that wasn't the Starfleet logo.
That was
just the Enterprise's logo.
Yes.
They had different ones when they met.
Yes.
That's so weird to think now.
Yeah, it is. Well, you come in with a cool logo. You don't keep it to yourself.
Because all the other ones look shit because they were just like, oh, quickly, give it a different logo.
So if you really want to smash some continuity, screw Discovery. They're putting Enterprise logos on there because that's before, man. Yeah. Later on, you can make an argument, but in Discovery, you can't.
Oh, that's a point. Yeah. Yeah, because you could argue that, like, because the Enterprise was so successful, Starfleet decided to adopt that one out of, like...
I just ruined Discovery for you, man.
Put it up on YouTube, freaking Star Trek Discovery destroyed by facts and logic.
By Idic. No, that actually would help it out. Sorry.
Also, yeah, we would get like 1 billion clicks for that from cunts. So, when I first saw the 2009 movie, my big disappointment with it was that Romulus was destroyed. I know Star Trek is like an ongoing, continuous thing, but to me, if it ever was going to have an ending, like the saga was going to end, I feel like the ending is Vulcans and Romulans societies rejoining, right?
The Klingons are so important, though.
Oh, yeah, but the Klingons kind of have become their allies by this point. So the Klingons, I guess, in original series, were the main villains, and they had an ending in Undiscovered Country.
Right.
Which is why that's a really good film.
The Romulans just talk shit through most of TNG.
Right. But when Spock comes back, it's because he's trying to preach peace on Romulus, right? And like that feels like such a big part of this universe. And a good ending for that would be they finally find this diplomatic solution. Maybe it's not that the Romulans need to learn from the Vulcans, it's that the Vulcans need to learn from the Romulans. And they rediscover. No, that would have been it's like, oh no, we just blew them up. So I'm glad that they haven't just cut the Romulans out entirely.
No,
and that it's really dealing with because,
yeah.
They're a spacefaring race, so losing one planet isn't.
Yeah, it's nice this show has been able to grab that movie and kind of tie it back into the main Trek. Canon, so to speak. And the movies can exist wherever they want. That's fine.
Well, they explicitly are a separate timeline. They say as much. But
yes. It's tying Nemesis in. I mean, it is a movie, so
yeah. It would be weirder to cut it out, right?
It'd be disingenuous to do that. But aren't the Borg the real baddies of TNG?
Yeah, but there is no peaceful Borg ending, is there?
What are we watching here? We have the Romulans and Starfleet, reclaiming lost Borg or whatever. I mean,
I get what I'm getting at is the Romulans were the only one which were consistently important through TOS and TNG.
Yeah. Okay.
So I feel like they're the overarching plot.
Right.
Yeah,
but
the Borgs, I guess, are Picard's arch nemesis.
Exactly. And here we're definitely going to be getting into some kind of Borg thing, although they do paint it as a kind of quasi-Cylon thing here, which is, well, I guess that's more the sense, excuse me. But
yeah.
Anyway, it is...
Oh, yeah, I guess it could be that. Okay, so I had a theory. I think by the end of episode 2, I'd already given up on this. But it was that Romulans had made the synths do that because they would rather die than be rescued by the Federation.
That might... Well, look at some of the folks we're looking at. The Vulcan... Was that the Commodore? The Vulcan
lady who's
probably a Romulan.
Well, yeah, but then the other one definitely is a Romulan.
Right,
so.
but she looks human.
Yeah.
Anyway, the whole point is the Romulan Secret Service is definitely a thing here. Maybe the Romulan Secret Service had that thought.
Right. Yeah.
Romulans
I don't think
in general, not.
No.
Who was going to be blow up my planet? Screw you. But
yeah, but some maniacs.
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I think. But then they're talking about this whole weird secret about how they hate synths or whatever. I don't know. Is it going to turn out that the original Vulcan prophet was a robot or something?
We're using the thing we hate to destroy you. I don't know. That's still, it's on the slow cooker, obviously.
Yeah, obviously we don't know the facts yet, right?
Yeah.
That was just a little theory I had.
I mean, it's a peak TV thing where basically we have now seen the first 20% of a really long movie.
Yeah. It's not episodic like TNG was.
Yeah,
with 2 episodes in, Picard hasn't left Earth.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. Although... I kind of didn't expect him to in the first 2 episodes. I don't expect he'll say as engaged until the end of the first act, which would be the end of the 3rd episode. They are slowly throwing in their actors. If you're familiar with the actors, I guess it's a spoiler because they're in the credits, but Discovery did that too, so whatever.
Yep.
And I don't know every actor on the show, so it didn't bother me.
Yeah. I feel like I recognize that the Romulan spy is shagging the robot.
He looked like Ethan Peck, who played Spock on Discovery.
Oh, he does a bit.
He looks real similar.
I feel like he was in some old BBC drama, but I don't know which one, Merlin or something.
No, I was I did think that his look was way too close to the season 2 Discovery Spock look.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a Romulan.
Well, it's because Romulans and Vulcans all look the same, how do they make them distinctive? Give them a bit of stubble.
Yeah. How do we make Vulcans and Romulans sexy? This way. There's only one way. There's no other choices.
I think you'll find that if you go on the internet, people have been finding Spock sexy for a long time.
No, I'm just talking. I was trying to quote the production team here.
Oh, I know.
So what do you want in the future? We got 8 more episodes rolling. What do you want to see happen?
Right, this is a cop-out answer, but it's the truth. I don't want to know what I want. Star Trek's not a nostalgic series, right? It needs to give me something new. I want some cool sci-fi idea I didn't think of. I want a cool plot I hadn't thought of. I want Picard to come up with an ingenious solution that I don't see coming. So I hope that it continues to surprise me, is what I hope for.
Yeah, I think the show is, I think that's kind of their goal. But you said Star Trek's not nostalgia. We have a new coworker. We said Star Trek. He's like, I'm too young for that.
I was watching Star Trek when I was freaking 6 years old.
Same here. That just flew like by. Like we get what is he? It's 24.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, oh I think I'm too young for Star Trek, which does key into the is it nostalgia?
It shouldn't be in the way that Star Wars is, right?
It shouldn't be.
Because
We don't want.
it's sci-fi. It's meant Star Trek is the future. That's why I've been saying since they made the 2009 Star Trek, I don't want remakes and prequels. I want more Star Trek.
I think
and this feels like more Star Trek.
How much of a Kelvinverse fan base is there? There's something. I mean, there's comics on it. And
People
stuff.
like them.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a Kelvinverse fan base. I think there's just enough of a percentage of the Star Trek fan base who are like, well, this is what we're getting. I'll enjoy it.
But with younger people, that might be the thing they like. Maybe that for them, that's Star Trek.
Maybe.
Yeah, tell us if that's you. We were curious because I'm an old fart and Luke's working on it slowly.
Yep.
Tell us how us old farts don't get them old Trek.
Talking about that, old farts. They did the tried and tested plot of Picard goes in, he's the one who knows what's right, but he just comes across as arrogant and they tell him to get out of here. So rare seeing that, but the guy who's giving it all of that is the one who wants to pursue peace and kindness and friendship, right?
Yeah.
Normally it's like, no, he's the action man who knows these guys are bad guys, and those sissies in command don't want to pick a fight. It's the opposite. Like, command is very violent and aggressive, and no, they were our enemies, and yeah, we do have to kill people. And Picard is the one coming in with the more
the expert
progressive outlook.
He's the expert they're not listening to.
I never see that trope this way round. It comes across to me as a very right-wing trope, right? Like,
oh, just one thing I just want to throw out before we get too deeply past episode 2. Are we going to see Bruce Maddox? Did you catch on that?
Yeah, he's the guy who wanted to steal data, right?
Right. So now he's the cyber expert. I wonder if we're actually going to see him.
Measure of a Man, is that the one?
Measure of a Man, yes.
Yeah. Surely. They can't just name drop him this much and he's not going to have a role.
Well, it seemed like he had a pretty serious role in this thing in general. So
yeah.
I'm curious if that's going to be something we're going to get
He'll
a
turn
bit
up,
more
yeah,
of.
definitely.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll get the actor. I don't know.
I don't think he's a famous actor.
Was that Hugh in Borg Cube? Or I know the actor who played Hugh's supposed to show up.
Yeah, maybe he hasn't shown up yet.
Okay.
Because I saw in the trailers that 7 of 9's showing up.
Yeah, she's not in yet, so.
Yeah.
I could expect her to be in the first episode or two, so.
No, but Picard doesn't know there's any Borg stuff going on yet.
True. My Voyager knowledge is my soft spot in my Trek knowledge. I don't know much about 7 of 9 at all, to be honest. So.
Well, the only thing I know is that she was brought in to be the eye candy, and then it turned out she can act.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, she's actually a great character, but she was just here to wear a catsuit and pout.
Yeah, I've seen her in Voyager. I've watched, but I've just some people are really into it, and I that is not a bit of nostalgia.
It's just people who were teens when she first appeared on screen, right? Like, you had Troy for that.
We'll sign off for now. Keep it real, homies.
Yes, make it so.
Next bonus, more Star Trek Picard.